All right. Looks like the Hangout is live. So we're trying out the Hangout thing for sounding board. This is our first time doing it. I am Kale the Quick here on the Easter Egg Productions side. I have Thor, Dionin, and Sir Realism here with me today to usher in the new year.
Say Very hello, thrilled to be here, Kale.
Thank you.
Deeply skeptical of Google Hangouts.
Yeah,
just want that on file.
No, dude, their motto is "Do no evil." Like, what evil person would do that?
Also, it weirds me out that they feel it needs to be said. What evil are people doing on Google Hangouts that they need to admonish them?
Only a dishonest man would tell you that you shouldn't be dishonest.
It's like that guy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the movie, going, "Ignore me." Oh man!
Except that actually worked. Wait, Ignore Me was from Venture Brothers.
Yes.
They're both Adult Swim series.
They're the same show.
I might have been the only person who watched the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie.
I watched it.
It's one continuity.
I watched it while it was in theaters. I don't know why, but I did.
So sorry, Surrealism.
It was fine. I mean, it was an episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but longer. Got what I paid for.
I came here to watch the Ghost of Robot Christmas Past from the Future, tell a very long story, and then say, "Luckily, the robot cannot activate without this bolt." Can she just use a pencil? Oh, fuck. Anyways, what are we here for, Kale?
Well, we are here to, of course, do what we normally do, come up with cool ideas and talk about them, because it's way too expensive to make new media, and talking about it's half the fun, so we just kind of skip to that part.
Also, we have jobs and don't have time for that kind of shit.
Yep. You have jobs?
Working on winning the lottery. Calm down.
Most of us only have one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I was thinking for the new year, we could actually look at types of games and media that we normally don't look at, like I guess wood carvings, artistic wood carvings, casual games on phones. I also saw something on hidden object games, that type of thing, stuff I haven't heard of, and I don't think we've ever talked about that before, on Sounding Board or anywhere else, actually.
I'm not super familiar with hidden object games myself.
You probably are there. Until I played a game that was marked as a hidden object game, I didn't actually know what they were. But you see segments that are like hidden object mini games inside of larger games.
Google, what is hidden object game?
Don't ask.
Free
Google.
hidden. I've got like 3 or 4 like 250 free game websites. No, the ones that are like loading me those viruses. Oh, hey.
Yeah, so like you remember those I Spy books?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, imagine that, but interactive.
Like basically, You're supposed to find the part of the scenery that is the thing you need.
Oh, okay, but
it's I don't know.
Is Myst a hidden object game?
Myst definitely has hidden object within its game.
Okay, it has some
Myst
elements.
is a lot of other things. It's just
a puzzle game.
Hidden object is if a game is a hidden object game, then hidden object is pretty much all it is. Whereas Myst, it was a puzzle game that had hidden object portions.
Oh man, I hear they were going to make a Myst movie.
Yeah,
I don't think that would work very well.
I'm glad they thought better.
Anyways, I feel like hasn't there been a couple of there's been like some Sherlock Holmes hidden object games, hasn't there? Or like Nancy Drew, or
I don't know. The only one I've ever played is Tales of Glass and Ink.
That sounds like a mysteries game.
It is. It's kind of a Penny Dreadful style thing. It's been a long time. I don't actually even remember the full name. But you play as a detective who was summoned by her mentor. And he says he's discovered something terrible. Then a giant steampunk robot abducts him, and you have to go find him and solve the mystery of why that happened and why there are earthquakes and why soldiers are invading the town you're in. All by clicking on various things.
Huh. So it's... Huh. Well, that's interesting. I'm actually curious now, because I've heard the word hidden object game usually associated with like Nancy Drew. I'm wondering how many hidden object games are mystery related.
A good portion, I'd think.
Yeah, probably. I guess that makes sense because you're looking for clues. So.
Sure, how else you could do a hidden object game?
It's true. I mean, isn't like the engagement portion of a mystery thing figuring something out? Isn't that the exact same for like a hidden thing like you discover.
Looking for
Thing.
clues.
Well,
That's
the same
true.
appeal. And also, in what setting would you look for a hidden object that wasn't a mystery? I mean, I guess if you
Zombie
were,
survival.
Uh,
You look for hidden supplies, resources, like
But
Fallout 4.
then it would only really work if it was a hidden object mini game.
That's true.
But yeah, you could definitely include hidden object portions in lots of games that are more complicated.
Let me
All right.
jot
Yeah.
that down. I have this new paper technology for cake taking notes.
Oh wow, where'd you
Oh.
download that?
No, I think that's the new iPape.
iPape? Oh
Yeah.
man, Steve Jobs really did make everything, didn't he?
Yeah, they found some in his house after he died. He just invents stuff all the time.
Hang on, wait, he found some paper in his house and was like, oh my god. No. Okay, no, I know that's not an Apple product because there was not a delay when you rotated that paper for it to reorient itself.
Give it a minute.
Come on, guys.
All right. So,
It only has like 2 points of contact
yeah,
delay.
like hidden object games. Is there? What are other like media things we've never really talked about or thought about in depth of any sort? I guess.
Phone games, base builders. I don't know if we've done a real-time strategy episode, but
Really?
that's kind of its own can of worms.
I was gonna say, isn't real-time strategy like your thing? Kale and Keurig, or sorry, surrealism.
I'm a man of many names.
Yeah, far too many. But yeah, I mean that is kind of our thing. I guess out of our group, we're the most RTSy that I know of. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to be RTSy these days. There's just not.
Just
not
not a lot.
There hasn't been a good one since I think Supreme Commander Forged
Yeah.
Alliance.
Yeah, so about
Wait,
11
unless
years.
you count, wait, no. Unless you count each expansion on Sins of a Solar Empire as a new RTS.
I've had McMorty shilling StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void pretty hard on me. He said it was actually really good.
I haven't forgiven Blizzard for the existence of WoW.
Yeah. It's so
Did
funny.
you used to play WoW?
Yeah.
No.
What do you think I'm mad about?
What do you think I'm doing right now?
And there's also Grey Goo, which was kind of StarCraft-like with
I heard
its
about
3
that.
different races and building unit creation styles.
Yeah, I do love that.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, if you count the indie games, then
I was going to say, on the subject
tons of RTSs we've never heard of.
So, yeah, surrealism is definitely right though. That is like a huge can of worms.
Oh yeah.
Like just because it's been so long and would be overflowing with
Right.
everything that
Kale,
we love already.
Like Creeper World to be an RTS? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that counts.
100%, totally. That's
Okay.
probably the best RTS to come out this decade.
Oh, we don't talk a lot about stealth games, and that's kind of my thing.
True. Those could deserve a little bit of a chat still.
To anyone who's seen my live streams, I know I'm not good at them, but they're still my thing.
You're good at the game. Like you beat it. It's just you're not using stealth.
That was a soliloquy.
You just charge in.
The-
It's like this is a stealth run through as you're like gallop through the horse.
I don't know. I get through the game without being seen. I just like I just quick save. I mean, God damn it!
Just cheese it the whole way.
I don't know.
Straight
Like,
to the
but
end.
I've actually gotten a pretty good score on Phantom Pain, but you
Cool.
know,
All right,
it's not hard. It's got good controls.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so we could definitely chat for a bit about stealth because you know it's a new year. You know, take a gander at it.
I still say phone games, if you want to, in the spirit of the new year, get entirely outside of anyone's wheelhouse. We can talk phone games.
Oh yeah.
True.
Oh, and text adventures. I've actually been playing a lot of those lately.
Yeah, I
If-
can't really find any good ones that don't
I
make
have
me
a
install a
great
DOS
one I could
emulator.
recommend for you. I could recommend a great one for you.
Is it a dating simulator?
No,
Are you lying?
no.
Hmm.
It's not a dating simulator, but I did buy it because I was promised a sexy robot companion, and then it turns out it was a philosophical divulsion into what it means to create artificial
Then I had to
intelligence and what it
consider
means
what it was to be alive.
No, yeah, seriously. Like, I got this game and I was all like, oh, yeah, man, I get to marry a robot. And then I was like sitting there saying, the consequences of my actions could lead to war against China. Do I really think that I should save the resource space by having my robots use phone batteries as opposed to maybe a car battery that might be less efficient but make it more military purpose? Oh, yeah.
We're gonna put a pin in that one.
We'll put a pin in that one. I have a lot to talk about for text-based adventure games.
Thor, do you got any ideas? Any kind of esoteric mediums through which we have experienced stuff and joy?
Oh, if this is about joy, you should take phone games off the list.
That's true.
Yeah.
There are good phone games.
Topical.
Are there really?
Can we name
Aren't
any?
you playing Pokemon Go?
It's not really a phone game. That's more like a thing that makes taking long walks less monotonous.
But isn't that a
workout
phone
system.
game? I mean, like,
It's a thing I
what
do
makes
on
it
my
not a
phone while I'm exercising.
Well, maybe that's what a phone game really is. It's the thing you do on your phone while you're doing something else.
So it's not so much about fun as it is about making the boring parts of life less boring.
So yeah,
Isn't
actually,
that what a game is?
that's good. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Name any good phone games.
Pocket Tanks, which is just Scorched Earth, but on a phone.
I actually just recently learned what Scorched Earth was.
It's Pocket Tanks,
And
but not on a
it's
phone.
Pocket Tanks, but not on a phone. Yeah.
So I'm going to assume from experience that there's just a lot of old retros because Pocket or Scorched Earth is an old game.
So yeah, we can
retro
just
things.
say remade games that can operate on phones without any downgrade.
Yeah, you also have Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, and a few other old style games.
Also,
Remade
depending on how
games.
you count it, I do play a lot of
Emulators.
yeah. I do play a lot of my phone is a Game Boy.
I know, isn't it magical?
Yeah,
But it
especially
totally
since
doesn't play Game Boy games. It plays different games that are being emulated like a Game Boy game.
sometimes, yeah.
So yeah, let's
Anyway.
kind of just brush past all of the retro stuff because that's awesome, but that's still kind of directly
I don't
in a
know,
normal
actually.
medium.
There's room to talk about something like Pocket Tanks because it's a game that's best played on multiplayer, and it phones do add the option of something like near field communication multiplayer.
And everyone has a phone. That's what I think made Pokemon Go so successful, is the fact that people grew out of getting new Game Boys to keep up with the Pokemon curve. But Pokemon Go is on a system that everyone has just to exist as an adult.
Yeah.
The
Actually,
only
that's my
issue is
theory.
it didn't have too much longevity because you couldn't do the multiplayer things that you could do on the handheld.
Oh yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Pokemon Go suffered because winter hit.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I could play because going outside hurts.
I don't know. I usually pace a lot inside, so I'm doing great.
Man, it doesn't register movement indoors for me.
You probably aren't moving around enough.
No, I've walked from one end of my building to the other, and it just says I'm standing still.
Huh.
The best thing I can do is turn my GPS off and on so it glitches and thinks I'm running around my neighborhood.
I feel like that might defeat the purpose, but
It's winter.
Look,
we have to
when I
take
want that last candy to evolve my Graveler, all right, I don't care what it takes to get it.
that just reminds me of people on 4chan emulating Pokemon Go on their computer, and they're using their computer's emulated GPS to simulate walking. I just look at that ghost going, "Fuck, man."
Yeah, no. Apparently, a bunch of people I know just drive around really slowly.
Oh yeah, you mean like Caldwin?
Well, no, I mean that is exclusively how they play Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, Caldwin's not that. Caldwin just has those moments where she's like, "Hey, we're stuck in traffic. Do you own in?"
Slow down.
Well, I mean, if you're driving past Pokestops, you've got to get your balls somewhere.
Yeah, all right. Get that hustle, man.
Man's got to
So-
do what a man's got to do.
So, what other phone games have we played?
Well, I remember when Fallout 4 came out, Fallout Shelter was really successful. And I actually had a lot of genuine fun with it. It was kind of fun. Just you build a base and you make it succeed.
All right. Well,
It was one of those games you could play over time, which I think was its biggest strength.
leave some space so we can chat about that. Fallout Shelter. I think I've heard of that one. I didn't play it, obviously. Any other games?
Hovercraft Takedown.
Say again?
Hovercraft Takedown. It wasn't great. I played it for 2 days, but it was fun until I very abruptly was done with it and uninstalled it 5 minutes later.
That's how
my
I was with
experience
the
in
Old
most phone
Republic.
games.
That's how I am with most MMOs.
Yeah. Wow, I am done. All right. Get that out of there.
I've played Knights of Pen and Paper.
What's that?
It's like an RPG where it's styled off of like like a tabletop RPG where you can add people who take certain classes, and based on the person, they'll have different like stats and bonuses. And
Oh, wait, did they steal Grad School, the RPG?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, that was a programming game.
No.
Pretty much, yeah.
But in this one, it's like you do a quest where you basically go to a location and you kill things. You get money. You can use that money to either add new characters or add things to the table that can give you bonuses.
Oh, okay.
Did you like directly control combat or not? Because I've actually seen in some games you kind of just like set your party out and then they go and then they come back.
Yeah, you control it, so you can see like turn order. You can tell the character that you're currently in control to attack this thing or use your power, and if it's a targeted power, choose where it targets.
All right. And then let's see. I played a game. I think it was called Idle Dungeon or something.
I remember watching you play that.
And there have been a few like it too. Dungeon. I am not the best speller here. And that one was kind of like the Knights of Pen and Paper, where it's like RPGE, everything like you love equipment, stats, and classes and stuff. But instead of like directly controlling it, you would like, hey, go into the dungeon, and then like 5 or 10 minutes later, they'd come back out, like, and say, oh, this is all the stuff I fought, and I beat these monsters and stuff. So it's the indirect control, I guess, or rather, you kind of just decided like with their loadout and then sent them in.
And do you actually get to see the combat happen?
You can. It's kind of like command line-y. I've seen some that have it where like it's animated and you can watch it happen, but you don't really partake much unless it's one of those clicker games.
But it's not just you won or you lost.
Yeah, you can see like a turn things that have happened, like he did this attack and he really used this ability.
I don't know. I'm flashing back to Ebony, where I was so disappointed to find out that the entirety of combat was you sent this many soldiers, they won, this many died.
What was Ebony? Can you describe that a little bit?
It was a browser-based base builder game. So you selected what you were going to spend different kinds of resource on to expand your base. Building took a certain amount of time, and you could pay money, like actual money, to speed up construction. And then you were it was a multiplayer thing. Other people who were on the same server as you could send soldiers to attack you, and if they could overcome your defenses, which was the soldiers you had stationed not attacking anyone, then they got to steal all your shit. And those attacks took a certain amount of time to get to you, and so that meant that you kind of had to always be playing to protect yourself. Like when I was playing before I quit, I would frequently wake up at 2 a.m. checking to make sure no one was attacking me. That was kind of why I quit.
There was a whole stock of base building and army building games like that around that era, mid-2000s.
I'm pretty confident that Ebony was the first one.
It wasn't the first, but it was most successful, owing partially to its marketing campaign.
Yeah. Was it the Ford Model T of that kind of thing?
There was a game that was before Ebony, and I cannot remember the name of it, but all of my friends played it. I tried it for a minute, and I wasn't that intrigued. But Urban Dead really took all of my attention.
Yeah, I think I played one that was called Dragons of Atlantis. That was a Facebook game, and actually, I think I have Mobile Strike or Game of War on my phone, and those are like the exact same thing. Like I installed Game of War and then Mobile Strike, and it is literally the exact same thing. It just has Arnold Schwarzenegger's face instead of that other girl's.
I do like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's true. And it's not like it's funny because he's not in there and he doesn't have like a fake name. He just says, "Hi, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger."
I have Arnold Schwarzenegger. You should play my game. It's very cool.
Not even playing.
I'm not even playing. I'm just watching a live stream. I think that there's actually, I checked my phone to see what games I've been playing, and it's kind of barren. But
all right.
I do remember downloading Happy Wheels, because at the time that came out for mobile, I was playing a shitload of Happy Wheels in my browser.
What is that?
Oh, Happy Wheels. It's kind of like it's a physics game, and I have I have another game here called Ragdoll Launcher. I like physics games.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I think I've seen that one on like Newgrounds. Ragdoll.
Oh yeah, basically, Happy Wheels is like a physics game where you play as any number of characters, like a guy on a bike with his kid on the back, or like a dude on a Segway, and you can control how you lean and how you go forward or backward or jumping.
Oh yeah. I've seen
And
some
you
of
kind of
that.
maneuver through obstacle courses, and the game, it kind of thrives on the fact that you don't die until you get hit in the head, and you can like lose your arms and legs and stuff, and it's gruesome and fun. And I remember just playing Happy Wheels, and I loved playing it constantly. And then I was like, oh hey, I love Happy Wheels. So sometimes I have to do things like go on the bus or, go to classes. Thankfully, Happy Wheels has come out for mobile, like that kind of thing.
All right. Well, I think we got some good stuff here. Does anybody else have any other games I want to add to our kind of melting pot here?
Ragdoll Laser Dodge. That was a good phone game.
Another physics game, I guess?
Yes, mostly. So you have a little ragdoll on screen. You
Mhm.
put your finger on the screen, and your ragdoll zooms to that point. Your objective is to keep lasers that fly across the screen from hitting that dude. And then if like they hit his arm blows off. If they hit his head, he dies, or his torso, he dies. So your arms and legs are kind of like shields you can use, but single-use shields. And then the longer you play, the more points you accumulate, and you can spend those points to buy upgrades that make the game a little easier.
Happy Wheel seems to have gotten a response from our chat community on the YouTube.
We have chat? What?
Yeah.
Yes, we have a chat community on YouTube. It's thriving.
Yeah,
As many as
I sent you the link to
a person.
where it is on YouTube.
I see.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, we've got a fan. We're pretty popular.
It's like the fan that Tenacious D had in the show Tenacious D.
Love Tenacious D. You know what? They never give up. Something about that.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right. So I think I've got an idea here. So hear me out. So Fallout Shelter, that was like you're in a small community, like a Fallout shelter.
oh yeah.
to make an assumption, and you had to like send people out to get resources for the shelter. Is that how it worked?
Yes,
Okay.
the majority of Fallout Shelter was spent. You get a set amount of money and a couple of rooms to build in your shelter, and then you have people come into your shelter from the outside world to take shelter, and then
Name drop.
sometimes they bring items with them, like weapons or armor. And then after you get enough of that stuff and you've built your base big enough, you can send people out. You can give them medicine you've manufactured in your base. You can give them weapons and armor you've gotten. They'll go out into the wasteland, and every couple of real-time minutes and hours, they'll come back bringing stuff. It's one of those like progress games. So you basically collect resources from your base by logging in and tapping all of the resources and stuff like that. Different sized things give different bonuses. You can pay real money to get an item that auto collects for you, which helps, but it's not super vital unless you're our friend Alan. Do I have to drop a coin in the jar if I say the power word of one of our friends?
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus. Hang on, give me a second. Okay.
I got it.
Thank you.
Put that in there.
It's still rotating. Yeah, you get like progress reports, and it was kind of fun. I mean, if I sent someone out on a mission then went to sleep, I'd wake up and they'd be dead. But for a thing that's like, hey, 2 hours have passed. Let's see how his mission's gone. Hey, he fought a rad scorpion and won. I should recall him back now.
Let him in. You may pass.
It was a fun progress thing, and I think a large part of Fallout Shelter's success might have been the fact that we were all really looking forward to Fallout 4,
Oh, yeah.
and while we were waiting for that, they went, hey, here's a mobile game that doesn't suck. And we all went, yay!
Honestly, that game was probably made entirely out of their advertising budget.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of get the feeling that a lot of these mobile games are predatory. They're not meant to be enjoyable. They're meant to play off of your appreciation for something else and get you to spend money that you shouldn't or that you wouldn't otherwise.
Oh, yeah. Our chat is confirming that every resource-heavy phone game revolves around waiting real-life time, and you can spend real-life money to skip the time.
Yeah, no, that takes me back to old Facebook game that was exactly like that.
Yeah.
There's not anything else to say about it. That was literally the entire game.
Like Farmville.
So I have an idea, but it's going to take a lot of elements from here and then add in not predatory. I think that's a thing we might be able to knead it into the dough, and when it rises, maybe it won't be predatory.
Basically, make a game that's fun on its own and isn't just tricking people into spending money.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You know what? Never mind. Just go ahead. Let's see where you're going with this.
All right. So we could take something kind of like Fallout Shelter, kind of like Ebony, where it's like I guess Fallout Shelter more like because it's a smaller scale.
It doesn't rely so much on the PvP community scaring you into spending money.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
I hate the PvP crap. It's too annoying. So the idea is you're like a washed up, or not really washed up. You're too old to adventure anymore. So it's like a kind of fantasy world. You and your wife or whoever, you're too old to like go adventuring anymore, and you're like, we want to teach everything we can to the next generation of adventurers. So you
Barbarian
decide,
that took anger management classes.
yeah,
Yes. Or like that guy from Wakfu.
finally calmed down.
Yeah,
And
except
settled down.
settling
The guy
down.
from Wakfu became predatory, so
Yeah. All right.
Well, that was
Well,
his
we're not
entire
going to do
existence.
that.
yeah.
Continuing.
Yeah.
Continuing.
So you first you set up your house, and so you have like a small area, and then you turn it into like a guild house. So you found a guild, and then you
makes sense.
you recruit your first hero, and then you send him out to do stuff. So it's the same kind of thing, but instead of it being Fallout, I guess it's just kind of a fantasy thing. So it's less likely that they die, less treacherous.
Or
Well,
you
in
can just
Fallout,
pay gold to resurrect them if they die.
in Fallout Shelter, you could pay caps to resurrect people. It
Sweet.
doesn't make sense, but it worked.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I'm suggesting doing the same thing, so I can't show too much disdain.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, the first thing I thought of was you guys have played Fable, right?
Yep.
You're the guild master from Fable.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, thought of this. You have to send someone to recover their body before you can resurrect them.
Ooh, I like that.
All right. So
And it can lead to a dwarf fortress scenario where you've got like 10 people piled around.
All right, put a quarter of the dwarf fortress jar.
God damn it.
God damn it. Give me a second.
That one only takes silver dollars. Why?
Exactly.
All right.
$8 also work.
This is getting really full, guys. At least you finally got rid of that fucking Metal Gear jar.
Well, if we had to spend it, it was full.
That's the thing. We fill the jars and then we go take a vacation.
Man, I remember the last vacation with the JoJo jar. Anyways, so Guildmaster game. Is there anything else? Can you are we? Maybe I might be thinking too many different options here, but could you also alternately have a shop managing system, or am I
Recitative
getting
style?
ambitious? Yeah, totally.
So
I actually haven't played that game. Is that fun?
No, but it's engaging.
Yeah. Capitalism, ho.
you're in it to win it and you hate it every second of it.
I didn't hate that game. I knew all along that I wasn't having fun, but then I played it till I won.
All right.
I remember playing Shopkeep, which was like an indie game like that, except for it was first person.
Reciteer was an indie game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Huh. I'm not used to indie games being that cool.
it wasn't that cool.
Oh,
It
okay.
just had really
I'm
good
guessing-
advertising.
I'm not used to them having that good of advertising.
Fair enough.
Guildmaster game. It's a small scale base building.
All right, hear me out.
Yeah.
You send your minions out. They get stuff, right? And sometimes you get a trophy, right?
Yeah.
As eventually you unlock Animal Crossing.
Okay,
You get to
elaborate.
read. Your minions bring back trophies and stuff they found on their adventures, and you can buy stuff with the currency you accumulate by pimping out your heroes. And you get to redecorate your house with it.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun.
And
I
some
thought
of the
when you
stuff-
said Animal Crossing, you meant do mundane tasks for rewards.
no,
Oh,
the part where you redecorate your house. Also, have any of you played the old game Evil Genius?
I've heard of it.
I've owned it for years and never actually got around to playing it.
All right, so it's It's really good bad. Uh, it's a really interesting concept that's fun, and then it just falls apart about 60% of the way through the game, and becomes too annoying to play anymore. And a lot of the mechanics are useless.
All right.
But it had interesting premises, mostly that it was a base building game, but everything about your base like has an effect. Your base is constantly under assault by secret agent forces that want to destroy you, right? So you build traps and defenses and really indirectly, clumsily control your minions to sick them on the heroes. And build clones of yourself to fake your own death to lower the threat level against you. That kind of thing.
Oh, that's kind of hilarious.
So
what if be an aspect of base defense? Oh, sorry, you continue.
So the reason I bring this up is that the stuff you install in your base can be destroyed by like marauding bandits or the evil guilds or something who attack you. Maybe you install some traps or keep some of your heroes in base and pay them for guard duty, which has no chance of getting you a reward and costs money, but keeps the enemy from attacking you so easily.
It also might be a good way to let a hero kind of safely level grind.
Let them recuperate, especially if they took a lot of sanity damage, because I played Darkest Dungeon and now sanity damage is a thing for me.
Damn it.
Darkest Dungeon handled it pretty well, especially when you learn that the best strategy is just to steamroller out low-level guys into low-level dungeons in the darkest setting and have the lone survivor bring tons of loot back.
Never. I will never do that.
I've been told it's apparently the most successful strategy.
I can tell it would be the most successful strategy. I will never do that.
You're holding on to your humanity.
I have lost 5 adventurers through that entire game, and that is all I'm going to lose.
See, this is how you give an alignment system to a game without actually having an alignment bar.
Everyone's coming home.
Damn right. No, I don't care. I don't care if I'm going to lose 8,000 gold on this mission. You are coming back. You can't win, so come home.
See, actually, you brought up. Okay, this is going to sound awful out of context. You brought up pimping out your heroes to people. Have you guys played Dragon's Dogma?
No.
Not yet.
Nope.
So in Dragon's Dogma, you build a companion character, and they're of a race called the Pawns, which are artificially created human. They're Peasies from your game, Kale.
What are Peasies?
Peasies are philosophical zombies. They're people who are kind of not fully conscious, but they operate just like people. And you would easily mistake them for a normal person, except for in some fundamental way they don't have a self-awareness or conscious thought.
Like they're exactly the same as normal things in whatever society they're in, except they're not regarded as human.
Right.
All right.
And they're
A philosophical zombie can masquerade as human. It's basically something that acts exactly like a conscious being, but has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
And perfectly programmed AI that can pass a Turing test, but has no sense of itself.
Dragon's Dogma partially that to explain why their NPCs occasionally say the same line repeatedly. It's like, oh, he's a pawn. He's a different
Yeah, okay.
and also they accept their servitude. So whatever. Anyways, what's important is
It's good programming.
You build yourself a pawn, and you can have a party of 4, but you can only build one pawn, and they travel with you. And then you can go online where people have taken their pawn and put them online, and you can have someone else's pawn accompany you as part of your party. And you gather up a party of 2 other adventuring pawns, and they serve you. And then after you're done, and I hate this part, you can give them a rating of how well they served on various things, and then you can give them a reward to take home to their master.
Right, I remember this. Yahtzee talked about this in his review, and he set his dude off to do something, and he came back with just amazing loot, and he was like, "What did you do?"
He paused and was like, "Wait a minute, am I pimping?" And then he felt bad because he made his character like a very, very large, intimidating, fat black lady, and he made his pawn a very small Shota boy with rosy cheeks and a skimpy outfit.
So yeah, something like that might work. I know I beat Dark Souls recently. Congratulations to me.
Yay! You did it!
I died a lot.
You got good.
I did get good. Now I'm bad again.
You're prepared to die.
Indeed. But
Just wait till you get to 2, and then you have to learn how to compensate for the lack of auto aim on the backstab.
yeah, so if like multiple people are playing the game, instead of it being the PvP like we didn't like in Evany, it was called, or those other things, it's like you can loan out your heroes to, like, that's one of the quests. Your quest can be like, oh, go help this person. So and you can use that for power leveling other people, because while that would be bad, if we were being predatory, we were explicitly not predatory.
Right.
So what if like you could put out an offer? If you can send a hero of this level to accomplish this mission, we'll give you this rare item that is hard to acquire, but I don't need, because I already have my ottoman bonus. I don't need another ottoman for my living room.
Oh my god, you're a quest giver. Like,
Yeah.
you're actually playing as the quest givers of an RPG. That's actually kind of cool.
That's kind of what the Guildmaster should be, is the decider of what quests to give out.
But yeah,
you
so,
hold down a button and go, you've received new quest card.
so you let's say you randomly get quests that are weighted to be appropriate to your level, but sometimes they're just not.
Yeah. Well, I think
then
so. Since you kind of, so in my mind, what I'm imagining right now is that you recruit these guys, and they either in the beginning they'll just come like completely green, like maybe your first guy is like, I don't know, the pool
Nameless,
boy,
faceless soldier.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
I love that guy.
I hired him as a hand, and I kept sending him to do stuff. And one day I sent him to go into a dungeon I knew about to get something I left there, and he came back alive. So I was like, whoa. But
Well,
so
I'm
like,
glad you got the frisbee back, but
how did you kill a dragon? Oh, he's not dead. I just snuck by him. Interesting. But yeah, so like you have to like load them out. So with idle games, normally you just kind of send them and then they come back, and it's like playing with one of those little balls on a string. But with this, like, you'll have to set up their loadout. Like, hey, you should learn this spell or something. And so in that way, you have to like take the quests that come in, which maybe sometimes are like way too high or way too low, and then match them to like the right guy. Like, oh, hey, we need someone. You get a really low level quest to go to the library and translate runes. I'm going to send the warrior to that one. No.
Level is in.
Yeah.
One thing you could also do is maybe have a time limit on those quests too. So you have to have some strategic thinking of, okay, who do I have on hand and what can they handle?
So
Maybe a reputation system. The more often you accomplish the jobs you're given, the better the jobs you get.
Yeah.
that'd be interesting.
We could like weight it behind the scenes so that you could, if you do different things, you get like better quests, or you get people asking for more money or offering more money or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe if you always, maybe if you always do a certain type of quest, maybe that you get those more often than others.
So quest categories.
Yeah, maybe
track of that.
Maybe you could like build your guild into specifically like the Mages Guild, like that.
But you definitely shouldn't make it completely invisible. Like you should have if you unlock a social hero or something, you can send them out to ask what people think of your guild and find out what your reputation is. Making something like that totally invisible is incredibly frustrating.
I definitely.
Am I doing well? Am I doing badly? I don't know.
What is poise and why is it bad?
Yeah. Why does poise work in Dark Souls 3?
All right, that was.
They get Johnny the Barfly to go hang out at bars and let you know what people talk about your guild when you're not looking.
Yeah, totally. And then, so I think, because I'm a big fan of like indirect control of stuff, and a long time ago we had talked about like affection and trust and like better ways to model interpersonal relationships. And I think we could do something where like these heroes, they come and they kind of outfit themselves with what they think they need. Like some guy wants to be a thief, so he comes wearing leather armor, but like his strength keeps getting higher, and you're like, dude, you should
7-foot tall centaur. So
you should maybe wear a little bit some plate. I think it would work really well for you. But he doesn't trust you, so he doesn't wear that, or something like that.
All right, so the more often heroes get matched to a mission that suits their skill set, the more they trust you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, because I mean, I do really love like RPGs, like the classical, like KOTOR, Dragon Age, anything where you could like just make sure everybody's equipment is all perfect and set up and wonderful. But I also think it'd add a little bit of flavor if they're like, no, this is my family heirloom chess piece. I'm not going to not wear it. It's magic. It's my family's thing or something like that.
This is my father's rock. I will bash heads with my father's rock.
This shield was owned by my father and his father. Why are there so many dents on it? It does more damage than my sword.
Then they all were brought home on it. Is that the shield you want, man?
Maybe it would be a great mantelpiece.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, make it a wall hanger, you know?
Yeah. Here, let me give you a special gift. Oh, a special gift. I'll totally use that all the time.
Here, maybe just use that shield for training your son.
Yeah. That you're totally going to have.
Because you're going to live long enough, because all my heroes come home.
Everyone comes home.
Just this once, nobody dies.
No, but I definitely do want to have there be a mortality rate. That was... people need to die.
All right.
Yeah,
And then
mortality.
Make it always possible to resurrect if you can send someone to recover the body, but make it a really bad idea sometimes.
Yeah.
By making it very expensive. And
that's just the pun. We could put timers on the bodies. Like you have to recover it in a certain time. Like in D&D, you had to resurrect them within X number of days.
Right.
And so if you send someone out to, I got a quest for a dragon. Oh, I can complete any quest I'm given, because obviously they wouldn't send me something I can't do, right? No.
Right.
He dies.
And I think when it comes to like character death, it's best to have it be a possibility but not a guarantee.
Right.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon, where it's like there's likely to be death unless you play very carefully.
Or like Fire Emblem. I mean, that's like the whole draw of Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Or a waifu emblem.
Yes.
Oh, you mean eugenics emblem?
I love waifu emblem.
It's true. Let's just make a little checklist here.
Are you saying you don't marry your characters for love in that game?
I think by love you mean who has the best stats and classes.
One of us is clearly playing this game wrong.
you've got it. You're both playing it the same way. You just decide who they should love.
All right.
Yeah.
Look, I will definitely
They're your
say that guy isn't good for you if that guy also happens to be a thief class and you're a wizard.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm lying. Thieves are great for everyone.
They sneak in there really quick.
Hey, you're both mages. I bet you'd have mind-blowing sex.
But no one would pair Rickon with anyone, Thor.
That's true. Yeah.
We have optimized intercourse. We only need to do it once to achieve the maximum output.
And I'm shipping you with other people.
And you get Varian.
Oh no!
All right.
Anyway.
So,
All right.
Waifus. God damn it.
all right. So
Bondos?
yeah, if you unlock the Philosopher's Stone, you get to live long enough to breed your heroes.
Excellent.
It's new game plus is unlocking the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, so we're gonna add a generations thing?
All right.
Maybe.
I
I
think
don't
we
know.
It
should.
might be interesting. I kind of that was actually really, really fun about Fire Emblem Awakening.
All right. So normally in the games, like the little base building things that I played, there's kind of a prestige system, like a new game plus thing, where you go start in a new area. And I think I have an idea for something that'll kind of emulate that, but again, will not be predatory. Usually in RPGs, you like play an area and then you go on to the next area. So why don't we do it like that? Your guild is growing, so you have to move to an area that has a larger campus, so you can have more barracks and stuff like that.
All right. Let me throw something else out for you though.
All right. I'm ready.
You pick one of your heroes to take over for you at the old base, and they periodically send you a little money to help you get started at the new place. And based on their skill level, the amount of money they send you might vary.
Yes, that's cool. I like it. So yeah, you have to like, you start with like your little retirement house in the inner city because you're a retired adventurer, and like you got a couple extra guest rooms so you can have a couple heroes, there that you're training and stuff.
Rent them out. Well, you find that starving hero who spent his last coin on a silver sword, and say, "Hey, stay with me. Just do chores for the rent."
Yeah, and listen to me lecture you about materials science because the silver sword is just the worst.
Tell you all about what's wrong with your generation.
Yep.
Silver swords aren't great. Now, a silver hammer, on the other hand.
There we go.
Oh, God, I got to put another coin in the Dwarf Fortress jar. Give me a second.
I don't know. We wouldn't have known it was a Dwarf Fortress thing if you hadn't said it. That's
Thor
actually a
would've
physics.
Okay, just pull out. Just pull out.
I already did it.
Nice. All right. So yeah, we could do that, and we could actually like weave a story into this as well to like make an actual game with an ending, because that's one of our rules. Things have to
It
end.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All that begins must to have an end. Unless we explicitly say otherwise. Our rules are
I
pretty
don't know,
loose.
this definitely seems like a game that could just go till you get bored of it.
Yeah.
But if we want to end it, then it seems like the logical way to end is for the Guildmaster to get old and die.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good.
Or find the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I'm thinking more of like a story ending, not like that he dies and then
All right.
the game won't open anymore.
Then we'd have to have a narrative arc. Because so far there hasn't been a story here.
True.
Well, it could be that maybe you're working up to get like the Emperor's favor. Like you start off like on the very outskirts saying you want to become a noble.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because I was actually wondering myself, like, what is the end goal for your character?
Yeah, it seems like when you started talking about this seemed like just an old guy who started off being bossy and a young adventurer that kind of spiraled out of control and ended up with him controlling a heroes guild.
Actually, that sounds kind of awesome.
So here's my idea. We've got room for all these character traits and ideas. I've imagined it thus far as like it's two retired adventurers that are married.
All right.
And so like they live together, and we can have one be like the annoying one, the other one be like other personality traits, etc., etc. But my idea was just that they're old and they want to pass on all the cool stuff they've learned. And maybe the story can progress, and then he finds out that some ancient thing he thought he had defeated in a dungeon that was like his crowning achievement is like back. He finds out that liches have phylacteries, and that that killing blow he delivered 30 years ago didn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's taken so long for that lich to regain the strength to strike back.
No, man, it was a load-bearing boss. The dungeon collapsed on it.
He had to crawl.
You had to crawl out.
crawling through.
Yeah. So
It was
like
trapped under a rock for 8 years.
Yeah, his phylacter is even further down in the dungeon.
yeah, so that could be like a possible story. And just again throwing things at a sounding board.
All right. On the other hand, if we want to make it less dramatic, then like if his goal is just to pass on his knowledge, then the ending would be when the main character realized that their apprentices no longer needed them. Like when you'd raised up so many heroes to max level that they were just managing themselves fine.
True. Dionan, do you think you can write something that powerful?
Yeah, probably.
In the form of a phone game that only ever consumes about 3 minutes of your time.
Yeah, I don't really think that's the best end, but it seems the most fitting for
The
what
only
you
phone
just
game
said.
I've ever seen with a decent plot, I'm saying decent with like a gorillion quotation marks, was that Mass Effect phone game that was actually like a full adventure.
Yeah, that's kind of something that's tough to see because like phone games,
They kind of don't have plots by definition.
no. Like, and you can have them. I have one on my phone that I'm trying to get through. It's called. Let me see if I can find it.
There's no rule saying you can't have them.
It was kind
Chat,
of like
feel free to correct me if there is a game on the phone that has a decent plot.
it was called Band of Monsters, and it was like a kind of Pokemon thing except you use music to like tame the things. Thus, Band of Monsters, and it was really cool. But it started with an unskippable like 10-15 minute cutscene interactive section thing. So that was a big put off, and that's not what I want from a phone game. Like I still want a narrative, but I don't just want to sit there for like 20 minutes ingesting all the backstory.
Right. You know, actually, what I was thinking of is a lot of games have actually incorporated that. Like that, I'm going to call it a time sink game because I don't know what you're supposed to call it. But the games where you put something in progress and then it like progresses towards the solution, and then you log back on and you put some more work towards the progress. I remember Dragon Age Inquisition had a pretty interesting thing where you had 3 of your party members didn't fight. 3 of them were logistics people. One was your spy, one was your army, and one was your merchant.
Implement.
Yeah, and your diplomancer. And you sent them to go, like, you had a bunch of missions that only your like support people could do. And you'd send one of them, and you decide which one to send to go do it, and then it would take a certain amount of real-time hours to complete, and then they'd give you a report.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of the mechanic we have where you send the heroes out on quests.
Right. You could actually have a pretty decent story running through that kind of thing. I could probably write a pretty decent story with that.
All
And
right.
not only that, some of those missions you could choose one of the three, or one of two.
Oh yeah. You choose, and also as you choose them, you lose. It's like, oh, I sent Josephine to go do this. Now I can't use Josephine to take care of this, so I have to settle for my spy master, who
Or just-
really likes killing people.
Yeah. Well, we could do like have a bunch of different narrative threads. Like maybe so imagine for a second if all the heroes were just randomly generated by default, but we made 10 or 20 kind of handcrafted ones that came with their own quest line, and it's a quest that'll only show up if they get it, and then if you send them on it, like it'll progress and do cool quest stuff.
Mhm.
Or have very like discipline specific quest lines in the same kind of vein. So this quest line will only progress if you send kind of a good wizard after it. But then it'll take that guy on a quest where like he finds the ancient staff and like really becomes a badass, and you're the guild master and you're all proud of him, and you tell him that his health is low and you just shed a tear.
You hit a button in order to encourage them to take their health potions because
Yes.
you see they're hurt. So you hit a button to say, your health is low. Do you have any potions or food? Oh, what would be the final objective of being the guild master?
Yes.
Is that one of your heroes, upon doing quests for you, stumbles into an ancient evil that has awoken, and you need to give him quests to get him strong enough to go through and defeat the evil.
Yeah.
And then you tell him, well done at the end.
Oh, that might be a big thing. Like you're too old to fight the ancient evil when it showed up.
Oh no! I mean, like the hero on one of the hero's quests will discover like the ancient evil,
No, man.
like what happened in Fable.
Those heroes on quests to defeat ancient evils are a dime a dozen. Like
Yeah.
every hero individually should feel like they're the hero of the story, and you're just like, yeah, okay, I get it. You slew the dragon. Next job. Do you want
Actually,
your
that'd
red
be
money
kinda
or
funny.
not?
I was sorry, that has to be like a cutscene. Like someone comes in and just tries to tell the guild master, I'm underappreciated, blah, blah, blah. Heroes are a dime a dozen, and just like throws a ream of paper on the thing. These are the resumes I got today.
he says, was it like, I got the Sword of Aeons. It speaks words to me. And you go, yeah, that's great. And you reach behind your counter and you grab like 5 more glowing swords and toss them on the table.
3 colors of the same thing.
I didn't even think about that.
Do you know how annoying it is? These things all whisper secrets beyond mortal imagining.
And this fucking rapier has to sing in the middle of the night.
It's just its thing. Actually, what would be kind of great is if if there was a couple of set sort of varieties of hero stories that the heroes go through. Like, the wizard might have, like, the wizard type heroes might, like, stumble into some story where they're like, oh, so-and-so told me to go peruse a library and I discovered something while doing this mission for you, and you can encourage them or not. The fighters get things where it's like, oh, I saw someone murdering a puppy. Like, this cannot stand. Can I please go after it, sir? And, like, the bard or rogue might get some series of missions where it's like
On a mission to recover my father's bones. Basically every possible objective in Sunless Sea.
yes, exactly.
Really, we could just hit all of the most cliche things.
Yeah.
Yes, and it can be charming because you're not the hero that's doing the cliche things.
Well, yeah, you're the
guy who returns to at the end of the day to get quests checked off.
You're the guy who's really annoyed with all of these young up-and-comers who think their drama is important to you.
Yeah, no, you see behind the veil and you see how many people have these life-affirming lessons that they're learning.
Guildmaster, I really learned something out there. Yeah, that's great. Go write it down or something.
You considered keeping a journal. Should be the renegade answer to that question.
I've updated my journal.
Would you like to read my quest logs?
Yes.
No.
Put them in the inbox.
That's your fire.
God damn it.
It's like that the whole play-by-play. Then I swung my sword. Then I hit him. It did a little bit of damage.
If I was going to put a number to it, I would say 4 damage.
4 damage exactly. I'm sure of it.
Okay, now actually, here's a thought. If you want to put a little more game mechanics into it, which I don't know if that's a good idea. What if you set quest markers for them? I mean, you're the guild master.
Oh,
Okay.
what if you have a checkbox that is like compass marking and directions.
Or you could set optional objectives, and which objectives are and aren't optional. And if you set more objectives to be non-optional, you have a higher chance of losing the hero. But if you have a more trustworthy hero, he might go for the optional objectives just because.
Or you can have multiple quests that are kind of like in a line, or would make sense to do along the way. And so you could maybe knock out minor quests as they go to a bigger one.
Or you could set optional objectives, and the hero, if they're more trustworthy, will go do the optional objectives.
Yeah.
But they'll take damage and use up resources as they accomplish missions, so sending them out to do one really big mission might be better than having them hit a line of little missions.
Right. And it's that decision that makes it awesome.
So an idea for like quest lines of quests, that they don't all need to be completed by the same hero. So maybe you get some intel that, hey, there's the magic sword of such and such over in these mountains. And so first you send your thiefy scouty guy out there, and then he comes back and says, yes, I think it's over here. And then you send him again, and he scouts it out more and finds the dungeon. And then you send your A team of the tank, healer, and DPS to go take care of it, while you're sending your scout guy off to something else.
So an intelligence unit.
You're suggesting to make Bothans to die for the mission?
Only you don't tell the player that you made Bothans, you just allow the mechanics and see if they figured it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could have mages do that, and if they're high enough level, they just scry and tell you instantly.
Well, if they're divination spec, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to level.
Yeah, very hard to
good luck sending them on a mission to go kill rats. It's like, I have foreseen the rats will take care of themselves in 10 years.
Guildmaster, I've been translating runes for 500 days straight. Please let me outside. No, you'll die. You need the XP.
I have foreseen that if I attack the tavern rats, they will defeat me. I'm staying here.
It is true.
What I thought.
But, all right, just another thought.
Is the Guildmaster.
The compass idea, what if you can set compass objectives for them, but they don't do anything? Like, you set waypoints for them, and just the hero always ignores it.
It's purely graphical. There's no impact on the game.
Yeah,
that would be kind of hilarious. I kind of want that.
I set a beacon for you. I was wondering what that was. Just why didn't you go to it? I heard there was treasure in the ancestral tomb off to the west.
The hero needs to totally acknowledge it. Like the map that you're placing the beacons on is literally just the map in your study. And he's like the cutscene they pull out, and he just points to it, just like, yeah, that was on your map here. You didn't mark my map.
But damn it! I thought these were enchanted or something.
Nope. I can get you an enchanted map. I know a guy. But I think so. Like the quest line thing, I think that's kind of funny because I think people would kind of naturally keep kind of the same people on the quest the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find out, no, you just swap it out. But then
you got a team.
Don't have to send the fighter to the Tower of Magery.
Although,
yeah, Bethesda.
All right.
Sorry, did I speak too soon?
I don't know. I'm still mad about MMOs.
Yeah, you should.
All right. Yeah, I have not played Elder Scrolls Online.
No one has.
It is doing pretty badly.
It's populated entirely by gold farmers thinking it'll be
MMO.
worth something one day.
MMOs that aren't WoW fail.
Yeah.
Well, also PlanetSide. I guess they're doing pretty well, but that's not an MMORPG.
Yeah, not really.
MMORPGs that aren't WoW fail.
It's true, which is sad because like I want to play a game. I watched Log Horizon, and I really want to play a game where I have the tank healer DPS.
Yeah, I want to play an MMO that doesn't have anyone else playing.
All right.
Yeah, I watched Log Horizon, and the way I satisfied that was I played Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, it's just like imagine an MMO that only included you and your friends.
Yeah.
Like it.
You mean Dark Souls when we're playing in West Africa?
It doesn't really have the healer part though.
Yeah.
I mean not till Dark Souls.
I mean an actual. I mean like a WoW clone that didn't have players who weren't you and your friends. So like you can still grind for loot, that kind of thing, and yeah, but you don't have to worry about someone who's 30 levels higher than you wandering into the territory and killing you all.
And presumably
and then camping on your corpses.
Yeah, and presumably it would also be balanced for you not needing to grind forever.
Yeah, that too.
because I just did not have the patience for that. I only ever got up to like level 45 or something.
God help me, I got to level 70
I know.
when that was the cap.
My brother's at like 110.
In
Good.
WoW? Goes
Yeah.
that high now?
Yep.
God damn it. Whatever.
I thought they'd ended at level 100 too.
I never really give it much thought. But I got to level 60 when that was the cap, then 70 when that was the cap, and
80 was too far.
well, I quit before Lich King came out. I quit between Burning Crusade and Lich King.
Oh, I heard Lich King was actually the best one.
Maybe it was, but
We'll never know.
yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. Also, I hate people, which I eventually realized was a problem.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's okay. Just remember, Surrealism, we're all just AIs.
Wait, what class do you play when you hate people?
Shaman.
Okay, all right, that works.
I don't need anybody else.
Well, I supported myself as a support character. Turns out soloing as a healer is amazing, and anyone who says differently sucks at healing.
I love being a healer. It's so
I hated
great.
people, but I didn't hate myself enough to, play hunter. I'm not that much of a dick.
My arch nemesis was a hunter, but we're getting off topic.
Anyways,
True.
we're getting off topic. Sorry.
True. So we have a base building phone game where you are a guild master that recruits and sends out heroes. That sounds cool. I want to play that.
All right.
Oh,
That's a cool premise.
with the
That's
story.
not much execution put to it yet. For example, what kinds of items can you give to your heroes, and what impact would they have on their success?
We should probably keep it really simple. Like I said, I love min-maxing stuff earlier. So I think we should just have their clothing, which would just be a whole set.
Oh, like Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter,
Like-
you just had your armor and your weapon.
Maybe 3 item slots.
Yeah.
Like a health potion that, say, a health potion just brings the character back to life one time that they would have died on a mission.
Okay.
Possibly.
Monk, you useless.
So just an untyped item slot, or should we have a clothing, a weapon slot, and then just they can have items?
Clothing, weapon slot, and then 3 item slots where you can put 3 of the items that are available in the game that aren't clothing or weapons.
Potion, magic ring.
Potion, magic ring, scroll, their father's sword, and no matter who you equip it on, it is their father's sword.
I love it.
At all
Your
times.
father wanted you to have this.
Yeah.
Father's sword, your mother's necklace, or no, mysterious necklace. That's better.
Oh my god, no, we should do that. All right, so it's actually an ancient magic sword that's incredibly relevant to the central plot. It mind controls you and makes you think that it's your father's sword, so you won't put it down.
I think it's better in the flavor stacks to just say the hero's father's sword.
And then just have people laugh when they find out you can put it on anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems that's funny to us, but I think anybody else would just see it as a glitch.
Really?
Yeah, but people find glitches funny.
No, what if every time you give it to someone, you trigger a cutscene, skippable of course, saying this was your father's sword?
Oh my god.
Pull into the dive, just keep piling stuff on it.
Oh, this is your it's the only weapon that does this.
No, just the item's title is their father's sword.
Okay.
You buy it in a shop.
You can buy in bulk.
Oh.
I don't know what it would trigger certain items, like say lineage quests or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be
That are those
interesting.
plot quests we talked about.
Father's sword is a katana. You give it to the barbarian.
All right, so just very, very simple.
Wow, my father was a very prolific bank clerk.
Will allow a little bit of min-maxing, but not too much, because some of those phone games get into it so much that they kind of defeat the whole, spend a couple minutes on it thing. For stats, I think no more than 3 would be good. No, my default is kind of just go with physical and mental, but I think 3 would be good.
How visible should these stats be? Completely?
I
I think they should be, honestly. I mean,
Well-
half of the fun of these adventures, like half the fun of Mass Effect was making sure everyone has the right gear for the mission.
Well, I think so. Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of stats behind the scenes. Having worked actually making video games, there's way more stats than the ones you actually see. Dark Souls made tons and tons of stats that normally would just kind of be behind the scenes, very visible, and then never told you what they did very well.
Not really well.
But in terms of visible stats, I think just like two to three, maybe four, if we like comes a good reason.
All right, how about traits for character development?
What do you mean?
Like, I forget which game it was, but they had a system where a character would have, or randomly generated characters would have traits that didn't actually affect their stats, but they said they did. Like, they have the old age trait, which is +2 wisdom, -2 strength, but then any character that has that trait just has a higher base strength to compensate, so they end up with their preferred stats anyway. But it would give your heroes a little more personality, you know?
Okay.
I was actually thinking you could do something similar for your character as well. Like on replays, you can have a different guildmaster who's better at different things to kind of vary gameplay on replay.
Actually, come to think of it, if your guildmaster's ability to determine a hero's stats was a skill they could level up, that would be interesting.
Yeah, you could get a vague idea of like how are they compared to a peasant versus I can assign them on a star grid.
Yeah, like strength. You start out with strength. This guy's strength is heroic. What does that mean? Well, it's probably stronger than peasant, but then when you level up your wisdom or get more experience, whatever, you see that their strength is, say, the strongest human is 100. This guy is 80.
All right, so the size up skill the guildmaster has.
Yeah, okay.
I was also just thinking it'd be kind of funny if the guildmaster had absolutely no knowledge of magic, and so it's like, oh, that's a magic thing. Hey, mage person, handle it.
I'm an evoker. That's a necromancy thing. Magic, got it. Just make it happen. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe it's like that could be maybe a part or sub thing of size up, where it's like magic user,
Or even just
magic user,
or even just funny dialogue.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like
like
it
Fallout,
actually.
like Fallout 1 low intelligence run, where all the
God damn it.
where all the dialogue's different.
I'm thinking more like there actually is only one kind of magic in the game because we don't want to code more. But like you try to send a wizard on a mission that clearly calls for a wizard, and they're like, but that's not my school of magic. It's all magic. You'll be fine. I can't do anything to undead. Just go ahead. I have faith in you. Well, all right.
All right, here goes the Lactomancer Bill.
What can you cast? Mending, it's a sewing spell, and Veg. What does Veg do? It's hard to explain.
God damn it.
Journey Quest reference.
Yeah, beautiful. All right.
Calamity Knife, I brought yours.
So I really like the size up skill, just because that's kind of a part of the game is matching the hero to the thing. And at the beginning, you could just kind of actually read their quest report to see, oh my god, he's hitting for 20 damage. Okay, I know he's good.
How about you buy you buy self-help books or something, or like leadership for dummies books to level up your size up skill. So you get to take your in-game currency and turn it into enhanced skills, but only when you don't want to turn it into other things.
Maybe that's so for replayability, that type of thing. Maybe your ability to size up is directly related or capped by your skill in that area. So
Wait, okay.
You had the ability to be you used to be a great fighter, so you can just kind of look at a guy and but you can't tell if someone's bullshitting about being a mage or not.
So you're not thinking of leveling the size skill up in a playthrough? It's just based on your character stats.
Well, no, you can do both.
As you get more familiar with fighters and such.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So your starting stats. Got it.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
And maybe your new game plus is like you play as the child of the guildmaster or something.
No, you're his prodigy.
Protege.
Damn it. Freaking English. Being wordsy. So yeah, that is a cool idea. I wish I had time on my hands to make it. It sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds neat. Well, it's a good thing everyone out there is a game designer.
Everyone in the world.
Everyone in this room has the capacity to make games.
That's true. But y'all are busy, and actually, no, I did just fix my computer. Yeah,
Same.
I will finish Blaster Girls first, and then we can work on this, which I
Then that Magic Tree game.
no.
Wait, what?
That was for work. Don't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like making it a little phone game. That's one of the reasons I wanted to think of a simple-ish, a little complicated here, but simple-ish phone game. Because Blaster Girls is going to be 3D and fun and all that cool stuff, and involve a lot of netcode that is going to kill me slowly over time. But
Yeah.
this won't.
Netcode is a damage over time spell. Right, Thor?
Mm-hmm. Killing me softly.
With his saw.
Killing him softly.
With his saw.
Ah ha ha! It's always time for a Simpsons reference.
Genius.
That's why there's no jar.
All right, so we've got a lot here. I think I'm pretty sure, and I hope that the live streaming thing records this, and it'll just be on the YouTube page later. But we do have a couple little notes to refresh our memory, and then we can put it into our behind-the-scenes database where we catalog our ideas, file it away with the others. Any other ideas? Anything popping into people's minds? Stuff?
Well, we never really did talk about the base building element.
True. Yeah. And we had mentioned something like Reciteer. Can you describe Reciteer really quick? I've never played it.
All right. So you have a shop, and you get to decide what kind of items you want to buy to stock your shop with. Then people come in and will offer a price, and you'll try to figure out the most you can get them to pay without getting them to get angry and leave your shop. The more you successfully sell, the more you'll attract people, and you can spend money to upgrade your shop, all while your fairy god debt collector is hanging over your head, threatening to take your house and maybe sell your organs if you don't make your payments.
All right.
It's a fun game for everyone.
So,
Oh, also you hire adventurers to go raid dungeons to get certain rare items that you couldn't acquire otherwise, and also for reasons I don't remember.
So, we could have it that like the starting area is before you move away from your house, so it's really, really small or something, just to kind of gate it so that there isn't a lot of room to do the base building stuff, but you get a taste of the mechanics there. Because I can imagine that like once you move to a big campus, instead of putting a shopkeeper in the broom closet, you can get him a whole building and you have an amazing shop, and your heroes will pick up really, really good items before they go on their quest or something like that. So maybe you
Wait, no, if you have an in-house store, you can control what items are stocked, so it gives you more influence over what they buy. Because we talked about having whether they listen to your advice being a mechanic.
Yes, you can add in economics too.
Yeah.
Why not?
I need you to. I'm subsidizing health potions.
Because you all aren't buying health potions. And you keep dying, you idiots.
It's really expensive to bring you back, and I'm not paying for it again. Because I spent all the money on subsidizing health potions.
Alchemist Hero needs experience too.
He won't let me go outside again. Shop. Control what's stocked. Subsidies. I don't know how to spell that. ZDs. Whatever. Then, I guess you could have a blacksmith as well. Which would do kind of the same thing, but I guess allow people to repair their armor. Or you could do the same thing where you incentivize using this type of equipment over that. Same thing with a leather worker. So just kind of equipment guy. And you could maybe make designated training areas. So, like, you could expand on your study to help the wizards out and that kind of thing.
All right.
Or-
So what if these areas increase the likelihood that a given stat will increase for your heroes when they spend time at base without being given a mission?
Yeah. So,
Like, it's not a simple point allocation. It's just you provide facilities, and if you don't give heroes missions, they hang out in your base.
Yeah. All right. And if there isn't stuff in the base that engages them, they'll just go off into the city and party.
Maybe. There's also a slim chance the fighter might get smarter because there are tons of books around.
Yeah.
Also, that just reminded me, I've been watching many a true nerd play Rome Total War, the first one. And he was talking about how the generals of like your family and, just in general, they would gain traits based off of what they do. So if they're in a town and they're building a lot of stuff, they can gain a trait that involves building and, building cheaper. Or if they're constantly in battle, they get a lot of like battle traits. Or if they're in an already developed city where nothing's going on, they can get lazier and generally turn shit.
Social traits.
Not just social, but also like based off of what they do.
So if you don't give them jobs for long enough, they eventually stop being a hero and retire.
Maybe, yeah.
No, how dare you?
It's like, I don't have enough money. I have to go back to a normal job.
Oh man, I just thought of something that might be an awful idea or an awesome idea.
Do it.
So what if
competing
relaxing is? That could work too. But I was gonna say, what if relaxing was a skill, and the more ranks you had in relaxing, the more you recovered from resting.
Dude,
So you had to
you're not
level
very
your
dude right now,
relaxing.
man.
I don't know. I feel like that's been done before, but it just
Someone's
thought
level
that's-
cap. So someone's only high stat is in their relaxing ability, so they just wander around doing all your low level quests all the time, and like taking a 10-minute power nap between them.
I think that's the equivalent of staying in an entry level job because it's easy.
Yeah,
This guy is awesome.
he was
like
the man.
It's the hero that crashes on my couch.
So if we add
It's
in
fucking Norman.
relaxing, so would we use the relaxing mechanic kind of how sanity was, where if you send them on the quests all the time, they eventually just go crazy and start making
If you're
mistakes?
really, really good at relaxing, then you can recover your sanity faster.
Sure,
You know,
I'll fight Cthulhu. I mean, I'll get better pretty quick. So
well, what you could do then is you could have a hero that's got really high relaxing, and you have him in the same bar as your heroes that are really stressed from fighting Cthulhu, and he throws an awesome party. You see.
or maybe they find it really stressful to be around someone who's so low key.
All right, we're getting complicated here, but I
Percent
like it.
chance here.
God damn it, it's that fucking guy. He throws great parties, but I always feel really awkward.
Yeah, and actually you could make for another narrative type thing with the rival guild.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah, usually.
that could be how like quests that you don't take right away get. That's how we could explain how they expire. They were taken by other guild.
The evil guild is perfectly happy to send heroes for missions they're not ready for, and like
Oh.
he basically uses the evil darkest dungeon strategy. So they just send out 10 adventurers on quests they might not be able to handle because
I've sized up the other guild master, and he's really bad at sizing people up.
well, he doesn't even care enough to do it.
Exactly. He's never got good at it.
He knows the general levels. Like, no, this guy could probably deal with it,
Well, it's
but
not like
I'll send him with someone else too.
None of his guys know how to relax.
if he dies, it's not like it'll cost me anything.
It's true. So yeah, maybe that's like the establishment. It's like the big guild that's already there.
The one you quit out of.
Yeah, that's cool.
The one that you retired out of.
Yeah, you were like you're their only member to retire in the last 20 years.
You're the one who lived long enough to
Yeah.
retire.
You just hey, I'm too old and too rich for your bullshit, Steve. I'm gonna retire and start my own guild.
Yeah.
With blackjack and hookers.
That actually should be in the guild. It's like,
Blackjack and hookers?
no, we could have a cutscene
Yeah,
where
it
it's like
improves the relaxing.
one of your guild members like goes, what made you decide to start this? Well, I was at this the other guild, and I just decided one day to say, screw it, I'm quitting this guild. I'll make a better guild, one with blackjack and hookers. And that's why we have blackjack and hookers.
Thus, I created Rapture.
But it turns out that blackjack and hookers are illegal in this town. But I don't know. I mean, it's still a nice guild.
It's symbolic. That's what I named my weapons on the wall.
Yeah.
It's a blackjack.
It's a blackjack and a
And a
hooker's a
hook.
hook.
God damn it! All right, I have a new idea for our next D&D game.
No, I veto it. No.
It's coming from the guy who had the hammer and sickle wielding characters.
Yes, that was cool.
No, Riley's just going to have us. He's going to
drop a name, drop a coin in the jar. Thank you.
So Gionin, he can run a game where he plays as the evil guild. And we just go into horrible situations.
Like we make 50-point GURPS characters and get sent on missions that really shouldn't be doable by 50-point GURPS characters.
Yeah,
Thanks for your suggestion, Thor.
The spirit of a one-shot.
But if you succeed, you get a ton of points.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Climb out of the hole on the backs of your slain comrades.
Run an iron claws. Everyone's got really low survivability.
All
Everyone's all mutilated at the end.
All the XP is mine. All right, well, we've got a good idea. Anybody got any final thoughts to add or anything?
There's just not enough time to talk about the Animal Crossing potential.
You don't cover it really quickly. What do you even mean by the Animal Crossing potential?
Basically, you get to wander around and redecorate your house.
Okay, yes, that's going to be needed. It's just
Make it look pretty.
Maybe the stuff confers bonuses, but maybe not. And then the rewards, you get to put up an online gameplay, or it's furniture that is pretty, but it confers no bonuses, but might be needed to tie the entire room together.
Put it right there next to the waifus, the Sims.
Yeah. You give your waifu, you have a favorite adventure waifu, you give them a nice couch to sit on so they can relax.
Yeah.
And then,
Also, you buy the wedding ring item.
Yes. With real money. Because
That's the only way to marry one of your adventurers is with real money.
We're not predatory.
No,
But we're poor and we want money.
Not predatory.
No. So it's okay. This has nothing to do with the game.
Antagonistic might be a better way of putting it. We don't see our customers as our enemies.
We're not predatory, but we will open avenues for you to give us money because we want money.
I don't know, guys.
What? Money is how we get all those blackjack and hookers, I think. Do you buy blackjack? I don't know.
You can buy a blackjack.
Oh, well, we should do that.
And a hook.
Blackjack is a brand of
Established
whiskey,
this.
If there was a hooker named Blackjack.
I don't.
Trying
Anyway,
to picture that hooker, and I don't think it'd go well.
I'm picturing it looks like Raxus.
I'm picturing Terry Crews.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I've seen Raxus.
Seen Terry Crews. Never seen them both in the same place at the same time. No.
I really haven't. I should go talk to Greco and say, like, hey, you know Raxus.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting a little bit late, and we have kind of fleshed out an idea. It's not really a full design document, but that's not why we do this. So, I'm Kale the Quick. We've got Thor, Jonan, and Surrealism here. Thank you all for showing up and chatting with me, helping me build an idea that we can hopefully make later, if we ever have time and money.
Sounds to me like we are no longer sounding bored.
Thank you.
You bastard, I get to say that.